in relatively modern times, starting with Alexander the Great, is not quite correct. In actuality, the further back one goes into ancient Egyptian history, the more fair-haired, light-skinned, and light-eyed the demographics are, including pre-dynastic times. That means before there were pyramids or pharaohs. And it's only in recent times, in the post-Roman era, through things like the Muslim slave trade, that sub-Saharan African genetics have been infused into the North African population. An article published in 2017 in the journal Nature Communication states that, quote, "Until now, the study of Egypt's population history has been largely based on literary and archaeological sources and inferences drawn from genetic diversity in present-day Egyptians. Our analysis reveals that ancient Egyptians shared more ancestry with Near Easterners than present-day Egyptians, who received additional sub-Saharan admixture in more recent times. By directly studying ancient DNA from ancient Egyptians, we can test previous hypotheses drawn from analyzing modern Egyptian DNA, such as recent admixture from populations with sub-Saharan and non-African ancestries, attributed to trans-Saharan slave trade and the Islamic expansion, respectively. We found the ancient Egyptian samples falling distinct from modern Egyptians, and closer towards Near Eastern and European samples. In contrast, modern Egyptians are shifted towards sub-Saharan African populations. We find that ancient Egyptians are most closely related to Neolithic and Bronze Age samples in the Levant, as well as to Neolithic Anatolian and European populations. When comparing this pattern with modern Egyptians, we find that the ancient Egyptians are more closely related to all modern and ancient European populations that we tested, likely due to the additional African component in the modern populations. So rather than thinking of Alexander the Great as a foreign colonizer, or even the Hyksos dynasty as foreign rulers from Anatolia, it is more accurate to think of them, genetically and culturally speaking, as part of one Caucasian phenotype that dominated the ancient Mediterranean during the entire Holocene. And by Mediterranean, I mean all of North Africa, from Morocco to Egypt, as well as Ethiopia, which used to have a different ethnic nobility in ancient times, all of Southern Europe, and the entire Middle East, including the Levant, as well as Anatolia and Territoria,